Ev, how we doing?
Doing good, doing good. Excited that it's almost Christmas here. Getting to spend some time with the family. Noticeably here, I'm in Kansas City, and it is 65 degrees. I'm looking out a window right now, and I'll tell you what, it does not feel like Christmas at all. This year has flown by.
No, I'm the same way. I'm up in Indiana, and 57 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. Looks pretty good. I forgot to mention right off the bat, in the words of our good friend Charlie Walker, we are live. Charlie, obviously, as you see here, Charlie can't join us. He is making his pilgrimage to honor our superfan Ben Risco. He is in Pittsburgh, doing the Christmas in Pittsburgh for the first time. So, to Charlie, may he get out alive.
That's a big one here. I'm going to adjust here a little bit. There's a light behind me. It's driving me insane. So
yeah, as while you're fixing
we'll
that,
adjust.
as y'all can see, the boys are playing road games. Listen, it takes a special kind of guy to get up for a road game. Obviously, Charlie could not get up for a road game. Evan and I, we're here. We're with the people. Ev, I think obviously we've got a ton to get into. Everybody, we're going to talk through the college football playoff, the G5 hate. I definitely have a little bit of stuff to say. We'll recap the NFL, and then we'll preview this next slate. We obviously aren't going to preview the college football second round of the playoffs until next week. But, Ev, you're in Kansas, yes?
I am.
You know who else is going to be in Kansas?
Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs. So
Kansas City Chiefs.
So I am staying with my cousin right now, and my whole cousin side of him. I was actually was able to go to a KU basketball game last night at Fog Allen Fieldhouse, so that was pretty cool as well. But I did have a chance to talk with my cousin as well as my uncle, and they're pretty excited about the team coming to Kansas.
Yeah, I bet.
They think some good things. They're real excited about a brand new stadium coming. It's going to be about 15 minutes from their house. So that's good news for me when I visit. Looking ahead, that is 5 years from now before we will have that opportunity. But it's exciting stuff. I think it's going to be a really cool stadium there. It's out in a real good area. But you do have to think kind of sad news with that comes that you're losing Arrowhead. One of the great kind of historic stadiums still kind of left in the NFL today. It's up there with Lambeau. You don't really see stadiums
up there with Lambeau. I mean, it's a historic stadium for sure, but it's not a Lambeau.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's the loudest stadium. It has the best fan atmosphere in all of the NFL right now. So from that kind of standing, what it means to the NFL, I think it kind of gets there because you just can't build a stadium like that anymore, and they won't build a stadium like that. So that'll be an interesting thing to say. I mean, if I'm a player, I don't think I'm happy about the new stadium in Kansas. You lose a lot of home field advantage doing that.
I mean, maybe, but as much as you can't rebuild a stadium, or they won't rebuild a stadium like that, I mean, I imagine the fan. How far away is it moving? I don't know anything about Kansas City.
Yeah, so the fans itself, that won't change. But you have to think, Arrowhead, the fans are so close to the stadium. Or so close to the field, it's just not going to be as loud. So it's not the same fan atmosphere, and you just can't recreate that. Like, the fans will be just as intense, but how that translates onto the field is a big difference. And also, you're losing probably the cold weather factor as well. Kansas City can be brutally cold in the winter, and some of those late season games definitely gives them an upper hand.
They're building a enclosed stadium.
They are. I think that's the initial plans. I'm pretty sure that's a guarantee is it's going to be a dome. The thing that I think they're working out is will it have a retractable roof, or will they have it where they can kind of wheel the field outside so it can get sunlight and it can be real grass. I think that's what they're working through at the moment.
We're seeing a big shift just like as a whole from, I mean, even the new stadiums that are going to be built or projected to be built like Chicago. There's another one that I'm forgetting. But the outdoor stadiums, I mean, we're probably just going to see that as far as cold weather places. It's probably just going to be Buffalo and Lambeau, right? I mean, Ford Field's already inside. I think the new, whatever they call the new Bears Stadium, is going to be an indoor or at least have retractable roofs. I mean, MetLife is outside, but
I don't know. Well, I mean, Gillette's outside. I don't anticipate Gillette being redone anytime soon to add a dome. And the Buffalo one's just kind of weird. I don't understand that. It's supposed to melt the snow off of it or not allow snow to get in there.
And
that
it's
one just
built so the wind can't get in, right? It's built in a way that wind can't affect it.
Like, I don't get the point of that. Just build a dome. And, this concept hasn't been proven, so we'll see. But, yeah, I think everything's trending towards being inside just so you don't have to deal with a lot of the other things that come with a outdoor stadium.
Well, and then you don't have to deal with, like, do you remember, was it last year that the Bengals refused to take the snow off of their or clean the snow off the seats, and fans were having to get there and, like, sit on snow basically the whole game?
Well, sometimes you have to. You just don't have enough time. Here, excuse me one second. I'm going to grab a water real quick.
Yeah, you're good. I'll kind of riff with the people. Yeah, so obviously a ton going on. Transfer portal's going crazy. There's so much movement that's happening with all these college football things. So, Ev, I mean, we might as well get into it. There's so much that's happening in the NFL. We'll get to the NFL. Obviously, we're going to preview this coming slate. So let's start with college. We had meaningful football again. The transfer portal's kicking up. We'll touch on that after we talk football. But 4 games happened, Ev. 4 matchups happened. Probably only 2.5 games, I would say. I'll give JMU the benefit of a half game because they looked great in the second half, as great as you can kind of look when you're trailing. But let's just start with Friday. Let's go in order here. The Alabama Crimson Tide went to what's it called? Gaylord Stadium, something like that. Gaylord Memorial in Norman,
like
Oklahoma, and Alabama went down 17-0 early. So Alabama definitely lost, right?
Yeah, no, that is not what happened. And
really?
Just like a lot of idiots out there who thought that game was over. Evan, who never overlooked this game and just thought, don't overthink it. I doubled down on my Alabama bet the second that happened. And it paid off pretty successfully for me there. My only regret is that I didn't bet more.
That's always the regret. And I want to give you credit. The show as a whole was on Bama. I promise, and I swear on this, I didn't necessarily waver, but to have the cojones to throw down the bet down 17-0 on the road, Ev, you are Alabama Ev. That's what people have been calling you on Twitter.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's have my back, Alabama. I do think this is where the run continues for Alabama. I have them going into Bloomington, Indiana, and sorry, it's just not going to happen.
Dallas.
Is it?
It's in the Cotton Bowl. I think it's in the Cotton Bowl.
No, the Cotton Bowl's Miami.
Right. They.
It's in the Rose Bowl.
Rose Bowl. That's right. That's
Rose
right.
Bowl. Keep forgetting
that. We said it on last show. If Oklahoma wins this game, Indiana by 1 billion. If Alabama wins this game, if I'm a Hoosier fan, it's that kind of brand allure. You know, it's still Alabama, even if it's different. It's not Saban.
Yeah.
I'd be nervous.
The problem is here, it's the wait for Indiana. I think the wait's going to kill a team like that. I think this month off is bad news bears for them. But we'll get into that more next week. Let's dive back into this Oklahoma Alabama game. Once they went down 17-0, the game flipped completely. It was like, oh, hey, did they just switch uniforms kind of situation.
Right.
However good Oklahoma was playing, Alabama started playing that way. And then they just didn't let up the rest of the game consistently. We're just the better team. They showed it in every aspect of the game. There really isn't too much more to say on that. I think Simpson kind of locked in a little bit. The offense just looked more relaxed throughout the rest of the game. At any kind of time they needed a first down, a big play, they got it. And Oklahoma just couldn't answer. They just could not stay consistent and answer. And looked uncomfortable. Looked like the pressure was daunting all over them.
So tell me how true this next statement I'm about to say is. Alabama won that game, but Oklahoma should be the MVP of that game. Because Oklahoma just gave Alabama... It almost felt like Oklahoma live bet Bama at the end of the first quarter. I mean, the Mateer pick six to give them life back. Mateer just not looking great. Receivers dropping passes. The punter dropping that, I still have never seen that. It wasn't like
I forgot about that.
It's not like he dropped the snap. He caught the snap and then dropped it on the way to his punt. Like it made me look back and say, like, is it raining?
He forgot to kick the ball.
Yeah.
He just forgot to kick it. It's that simple.
We had a term in the soccer world, like if you try to pull a sick move, but then you just forgot the ball. It's like you left something behind. Like he just left something behind. Alabama deserves all the credit for fighting back. Hostile environment. It did look like it was rocking in Norman. Not a scene that we saw there last year when the Gamecocks came to town. But Alabama deserves all the credit in the world for coming back, staying the course, fighting. But Oklahoma just they didn't just leave the door cracked open. They blew that shit open. They took the door off the hinges and said, "Come on back, Alabama."
Yeah, no, they had an open house party. The parents weren't home, and all the kids for Alabama were invited. That's as simple as you can put it. And I will say, we talked about it a little bit. You could tell the life just drained out of that stadium by the end of the third quarter. There was no life left in that stadium.
No,
they did not stay up. It might have been a little bit brisk day out in Norman, Oklahoma. Well, the fans should have bundled up a little bit more or something. But a little bit disappointed in those fans. They need to have their teams back, and I don't think they gave the best performance, a championship level performance. So a little bit of got to be better on the fan side, but also the team. The team didn't really give them any reasons to be better fans. The team was disappointments.
Mateer looked bad. Like
he looked great when they got up 17-0. They looked great until they got up 17-0, and then he just plummeted.
Yeah.
So
there's one person that I want to give a huge shout out to, and I've mentioned this guy on the show before. One of my favorite football players to watch this college football season has been Justin Jefferson, the outside backer edge, whatever you want to call him on Alabama. Not only is I remember the first game I learned about him, and it's because I did a double take when the announcer kept calling Justin Jefferson. I'm like, NFL's tomorrow. What are we talking about? This guy is always around the ball. He wraps up. He not to be old football purist on you, but he tackles with intent. He wraps up. He keeps his head high. Keeps his feet driving. He gets his arms around the ball. He doesn't do this whole pussyfoot and I'm going to run full speed into you and hope you fall down. He is just a finisher when it comes to tackling. He's so fun to watch. I'm so excited. Who would have thought in 2026 you'd be saying, I can't wait to watch Alabama versus Indiana in the Rose Bowl. And it's even more fun because it's that Big Ten. I know it used to be Big Ten, Pac-12, but it feels good to have a Big Ten team in the Rose Bowl. I think that's the game I'm most excited about for the next round.
I tend to agree there. And also, as one thing on the Justin Jefferson thing, who would have thought at this time in the year the best Justin Jefferson I've been watching as of late is a linebacker for Alabama and not a wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings? Because Justin Jefferson for the Minnesota Vikings has been missing in action for the past month or so. So we can get to that a little bit later. Yeah, don't call him that.
I've come full swing around that now 9 is a derogatory term. At first he was trying to say it was a cool thing. So I was calling him JJ because 9 felt too cool. But now I'm using 9 to mock him.
To be fair, JJ is a pretty cool name. Unfortunately, guys expected JJ to be cool. JJ McCarthy is not. Okay. But should we jump let's jump into the next game. The one more game I have on my list here. And
we were maybe wrong. Maybe this was the right game for the noon slate because snoozer.
Oh my god,
snoozer!
This game sucked. It was good. It was a traditionally good football. I shouldn't even really say that. It was a good football game, but it was so boring. It was pretty sloppy. I can't even say it was really good defense. It was good defense, but it wasn't that good of defense. I thought it was just really bad offense for the most part. Marcel Reed just looked completely incompetent.
Yeah, if you put John Mateer on Texas A&M, do they win that game?
Yeah, 100%.
You think so? So we got this game completely wrong. Not necessarily. I think we were all kind of on the fence. We didn't know who was going to win. I think ultimately we leaned A&M. Charlie picked A&M for our parlay, which I did not like, but it's his choice. But I thought for sure this would be a scoring game. I knew both defenses were good, but I kind of thought there'd be some points back and forth. The biggest winner, the MVP of this game, was the wind, I guess. There's just, to me, there's no way that in a 112,000 person stadium or whatever Kyle Field is. We've been there. Kyle Field's a big ass stadium. I just can't understand how the wind is affecting kicks that much when you're that far down in the field, surrounded by basically the Coliseum.
Yeah, I mean, even bigger than the Coliseum, multiple times bigger than the Coliseum. Right. The wind doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand it. Listen, even if there's wind, it shouldn't be that bad of wind. How bad are these kickers? Like, what are we doing?
They're college kickers. Don't get me wrong, but like, I think Pate was saying when A&M made that 40-yard whatever field goal to tie the game, whatever that, like right before half, I guess, the stadium erupted like he made an 80-yard kick because points were that hard to come by in general.
It just. Do you think it had anything play in fact the offense? Like, I just can't see that side of it either. Like, the wind was so bad you couldn't throw the ball.
No, I just don't think either quarterback is very good. And then what the running back whose name I can't remember on Miami had looked solid, but then had also the quietest 117 something yards rushing game. I mean, this was just
Fletcher, Mark Fletcher.
Mark Fletcher, yeah. The defenses were out. Did you see the clip pregame? I think it was one of the A&M left tackles or something, was asked about what their plan was for Ruben Bain, and I'm paraphrasing obviously. He essentially was just he laughed at the question, said who, but not the disrespectful who. Like it was like a who. Oh yeah, Ruben Bain. He scoffed at the question and then goes, "Yeah, we've got some pretty good players on our offensive line. I don't think we need to worry too much about Ruben Bain." Ruben Bain respectfully disagreed with this unnamed tackle to the tune of 3 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, I think, and a blocked field goal. I mean,
yeah, he had a huge game.
Why? To this day, especially an offensive lineman, where when you get messed up, you really get messed up. Like, it's almost like a corner. Like, when you get beat, everyone knows. Why, in this day, do we continue to give the maybe number 1 overall pick, bulletin board material before they come into your house? That makes no sense to me.
I've just never understood the pregame shit talking. It makes no sense. Unless you do it on the flip side. Like, if you're the best player, if you're like a Ruben Bain, go out and talk the shit, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're not, stop. If the person is better than you, and it's widely considered he's better than you, just keep your mouth shut. And then if you want to talk shit after the game when you dominate him, go for it. But just keep your mouth. Don't do it. Just don't do it. It's like me and Myles Garrett. You know, he heard the podcast, and he went out and had 5 sacks. Right. It's an exact example. You don't want to do that. It's just stupid.
This could get misconstrued as me caping for my guy, and I get why people might misconstrue it. When Sellers talked a little bit of shit before we went to A&M, that I don't have an issue with because we were by far the worst team in just about every aspect, and you're just trying to give your boys anything to get hyped up. But when it's A&M was favored, you're at home, playoff game, Kyle Field, home of the 12th man, a place that was shockingly quiet for how many people are in there, if you ask me. But regardless, you have everything kind of going for you. And to just... Listen, Ruben Bain might have had the same stat line regardless. He's really good at football. I don't know if that's breaking news to anybody. Ruben Bain, certified good football player. But why even play that game? Why risk that? You know, because what if he's coming in lackadaisical? You know, and now you're a Twitter meme.
It's just never... Listen, I'm going to go out and just say this out loud. If you're an offensive lineman or a cornerback, do not talk shit before a game. Do not put bulletin board material out there.
Yeah.
99% of the time, you're going to look stupid.
Yeah.
And listen, even if you do have a big game as a left tackle and you shut down a defensive lineman, it's not going to look that good as compared to how bad it's going to look on the flip side if the opposite happens. And same thing with a corner. If you go and lock him down, awesome, cool. Just be quiet professional about it. It's so stupid. You just look stupid doing it. And unfortunately, it's a catch-22 where a defensive end comes out and says, "I'm going to run all over this guy," and it doesn't really look that bad for whatever reason. And if a wide receiver says, "I'm going to go out and dominate this guy," again, that one looks a little worse, but it doesn't look nearly as bad either. So just know your spot, know how it's going to look, and then just realize it's not the smart decision.
Well, and then on top of that, the overwhelming majority of the football-watching public doesn't really know football. They're just entertained by the game. So if you're a cornerback, for your example, if you're a cornerback, you shut down the receiver for 99% of the game, but they get one touchdown on you, 99% of the population is going to be looking at that and be like, oh, you got torched. Or if you're the right tackle going up against Ruben Bain every play, and he gets 3 sacks, that might not be your fault. That might have been like poor protection, like setting the protection poorly from the quarterback. That might be bad scheme. It might be but 99% of the people are just going to blame it on you because that's where you are. You got beat. So just keep yourself.
Use your head a little bit. Just stay on the football field for the most part. Yeah. Talk the shit out there if you want. We can't hear that. But.
The last person I had to mention in this game, another listener of the show, Malachi Tony. Appreciate you listening, tapping in. He said he shot me a text after the show. He said, I'm actually going to impact the game every single way I can except for catching the ball, because he knew that we had the receiving prop in the parlay. Malachi Tony returning kicks, scoring touchdowns. I actually had him to score the first touchdown. Did not expect that to be in the fourth quarter, but still plus 650. That was nice cash. Malachi Tony is so fun to watch. There's a reason why Tankathon has him as the only player from the 27 class already listed. That guy is electric. That guy is unbelievable. I've heard him and Sellers been talking back and forth. Malachi, you would look great in Garnet. Just come on down. But, I mean, that guy is like such a pure college football player in the sense that, like, just get him the ball. Just get him the ball however you need to, and good things tend to happen. Even after he fumbled, he still made up for it. Huge kick return, huge touchdown, into rounds. I mean, he's just a phenomenal football player, and somebody that I can't wait to put a future on to win the Heisman, even though he probably won't. I'm very excited to lose money on that.
Yeah, I can't get behind you on that bet. I don't agree with it, but I'll support you from afar.
Yeah.
Will not financially support you on it though. With that being said, what a player, and he's someone I would love to have on my team. Just the way he reacted after losing that fumble in a crucial game,
yeah.
He was beating himself up on the bench. And listen, some people are like, oh, you know, move on. No. I want you to be upset about that. Listen,
yeah.
You can be upset about it for as long as you want until you step back on the field. Then it has to be out of your head. If you want to be pissed off on the sidelines, I'm all for that. I'm all for that as long 100%. As you're good. By the time you're back on the field, go for it. That's cool. And he responded. He responded great. Finished out the game. You know, getting that touchdown. Listen, South Carolina, he could be a Nike in South Carolina next year. I'm just saying, has a real quarterback. So I would love that. You know, is that a possibility? Yeah. I don't really think so, but hey, it'd be pretty cool. But before we jump into our other things, college football related, let's talk about the South Carolina Gamecocks here for a quick second. Unless you got anything else in this game you want to touch on.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I would just say what an awful throw by Marcel Reed did in the football game. Just unbelievably bad after having his one good drive of the game.
Yeah.
Boy.
And I was rooting for that. Like, again, we bet on A&M. Obviously, we're financially looking for A&M to win. But once I realized that Malachi Tony had no chance of getting that receiving prop, and the only investment I had in A&M was the parlay that on Charlie's pick. I wanted I wanted them to score for overtime to just get any excitement into that game. But
same.
I did hate watch and hate Twitter scroll. I went to A&M's. There's something that I do, and it's because I'm a shitty person and I love chaos. My favorite thing to do is to go to the losing team's official Twitter page and just read the comments. I'm a loser. South Carolina blew a 30-point lead. I've made no bones about being a winner. I'm a loser in every sense of the word. I watched A&M get so jacked up, talk all that shit to lose, and I watched it with a smile on my face. I gotta be honest. It was everything I wanted and more. They were pissed. There was people crying. Honestly, there was more bitching than anything else on the comments about them getting screwed out of the 6th seed and having to play Miami instead of Ole Miss. One, that's a fair comment. I don't know why Ole Miss is ranked higher than them. I really don't. But that is loser behavior to be like, wah, we wanted Ole Miss, or we wanted Tulane, wah. But what a fun shit scrolling I did that day.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I actually partook as well. And then we'll be back. Go fuck yourselves. Just, I hope not. I really hope not. I just despise A&M now. They're one of my top 3 most hated teams, I think, at this point in my life. But a team I don't hate very much, the South Carolina Gamecocks. Love the Norris Sellers video announcing that he's coming back.
I didn't even see that.
Yep, nice video coming back. Nice touch. I am very high on this team again right now. Unfortunately, I bought complete back in. I think our new offensive line coach basically walked into that room and told everyone to fuck off.
Yeah, and we've seen it. We've seen 2 transfers since he did that. We've seen two
3
players transfer. Well, it's Case and Henry or Case and Wallace.
Case and Henry, Tavon Bogue.
Trevon Ball.
Trevon Ball and Beyblade are all in the portal.
And who was the other guy? Was Trevon Ball the one who announced a couple weeks ago, or was that there was another guy who announced early? I'll pull it up.
I think that was Case and Henry. I think
there was. I'll figure it out, but they. Yeah, I listen. Like we said on the show the other day, the only one that I want back is Shed Surratt because he is a freshman. I do think he has some upside, but other than that, I mean, this is Case and Henry. Nick Sharp, that's who I'm thinking of.
Nick Sharp, there you go.
Nick Sharp announced early. Trevon Ball. I mean, realistically, I'm looking at our transfers out right now. There's
only one that bums me.
Is it the tight end?
No. Brian Rowe, losing Rowe.
Yeah, Brian Rowe definitely bums me out. Michael Smith bums me out because of his talent, but the way he left in October because he was too lazy to work hard to get playing time over Brady Hunt.
Yeah.
Like, fuck out of here. Aaron Nolan bums me out a little bit because I like Aaron Nolan, but, like, he definitely came here expecting Sellers to have a good season and transfer, or to declare for the draft. That didn't work out. I get why he's transferring. And I'd rather have Duckworth and Cutter Woods personally, anyways, than Nolan. If it was an Aaron Nolan Cutter Woods battle, I'd be in for that. But at this point, I'm looking for Sellers to play his last year, and then Duckworth to come in as a redshirt freshman. That's kind of my sense. But yeah, Brian Rowe. I mean, listen, I know he played well this year. He was my least favorite of the freshman receivers. I'm good with him leaving. I want to see more Jaden Sellers. I want to see more Donovan Murph. I want to see that.
I'm okay with it.
I want to see Malik Clark, dude. Where the fuck is Malik Clark?
Yeah, and we also have another guy coming in too. Listen, I'm okay with it. At the end of the day, I'm not heartbroken over it. We have a deep wide receiver room if we can develop those guys one more year. Would love to see Nick Harbor back for one more year.
He looks like he's not considering transferring, but considering going to the league, which is I think is insane. You're fast. We get it. You can't catch. You need another season. But even if I would like to see him come back too. But if he doesn't, you got to build the ship out of Malik Clark, Murph, and Little Sellers.
We'll be okay. We'll be okay. I'm not worried. Maybe get one transfer guy in there.
We got to get a running back, though. I mean, I like Fuller. I like Matthew Fuller. And Jawarn Howell, I think he might have one more year. But, Attaway, Attaway was a great servant for the team. I like Attaway. He worked hard. He's too slow. Rasul Faison had his moments, but, I mean, Barry Sanders couldn't run behind the line we put out this year.
Yeah. So, the first thing is I'm not even really worried about running back until we get an offensive line, so I can give any running back behind it a fair shout. But yeah, and then Dylan Stewart, I think Beamer is pressing him for a decision, which is understandable. But we'll see. Hopefully, if we can get both those guys back, I think we're in a really good spot looking next year. If we don't get them back next year, losing Sterling Lucas is fucking criminal.
I was gonna say, is that official?
Yeah, so he's gone.
I've been hoping that it's not. That's gonna be bad.
That could does Dylan Stewart go because of him? Maybe. And if he goes to LSU, I'm going to be pissed over that. That would just fucking suck.
A couple years ago, Kyle Bernard literally said he came to South Carolina only because Sterling Lucas.
So
100%.
It's tough to hear. But here's the thing: has Dylan Stewart found a home? Does he believe in this team? I don't know. We'll see. I think that's going to be very endeavorative. I don't know what that word was. Sorry.
Endeavorative.
Yeah, I don't know what I was getting at there. I don't even know what I was trying to say, to be honest with you.
Indicative? maybe?
Indicative. There we go. Indicative.
Yeah.
Indicative of his thoughts on this team.
Yeah.
So,
Listen, man.
here's the thing. I'm going to predict he comes back. I'm just going to be optimistic and say we're going to have both Nick Harbor and Dylan Stewart back. Actually, at this point, I'd be more shocked. I think Nick Harbor's more likely to leave than Dylan Stewart is. That's my official take.
I actually agree with that. This is a pure vibes take. This has no one has called me. This is not news. This is not reporting. This is an opinion. I think our boy Nicky Manwari is in Stewie's ear. I do. Him and Stewart, from all things that I've read, including some inside sources from the building, who shall remain nameless. Him and Stewie apparently got on like the fastest friends, and it's because they both have that batshit crazy, I'm going to do it here, I'm not going to do it kind of thing. Now, I'm pretty sure Eamon Ward is from South Carolina or grew up a Gamecock fan, whereas Dylan Stewart's from D.C., went to Friendship Academy, which still, to this day, for how violent he is, he went to Friendship Academy. That always cracks me up. But I felt really good about Dylan Stewart up until the Sterling Lucas news.
Yeah.
And listen, I mean, Lane knows ball, unfortunately, because that is a great hire. I wish it didn't happen. I still think Stewie comes back. I just don't know. For the most part, we have, like, Kason Henry, I think, is kind of a puss. Brian Rowe's a bummer. Aaron Nolan, go find a starting job. He deserves it. Nick Sharp, no one cares. Trevon Ball, you couldn't block anybody. And Xavier Hardy, I'm not familiar with your game, dog. But, like, other than that, like, we only have 7 people on the transfer list so far. None of them really surprised me.
Let's not get too cocky about what we, pun intended there.
Right.
But if that's all that leaves after having this abysmal of a performance or abysmal of a season, it really says a lot about the program and the direction it's headed, and where and how the players feel about it, and how recruits should look at the program, which are all very positive things, and makes me feel a lot better about the outcome of last season going into next year and the choice to retain Beamer.
Yeah.
Now, I am going to stick to this statement. Unless injuries happen or unforeseen stuff happen and there's a reason I need to reevaluate this, anything more than 4 losses next year, I think Beamer needs to be very, very, very deeply considered to be let go.
Well, I mean, he's
5 at the absolute maximum.
He pretty much guaranteed a playoff spot next year, so he dug his grave in a way a bit.
So
we also have that, and the last thing we'll kind of say on this because we do have 2 other games to touch on. We did get that number 1 inside offensive lineman this past year. Darius Gray, I think his name is. So I mean, there's that. The other player that I'm keeping my eye on that I'm hoping I don't see go on the transfer list is Fred J.R. Johnson. We got to keep him. He's unbelievable. We got to keep Fred Johnson.
Yeah, he was missing a little bit this year at points, but I don't completely blame him.
But he's a key piece on a defense that played well for most of the season.
Yeah, I just can't lose Clayton White. If we lose Clayton White as DC, I am going to be very, very concerned.
If we lose Clayton White and we didn't see that coming enough to promote Sterling Lucas somehow just for his D-line and recruiting, then that is a systematic failure by the front office. And
Beamer might need to be fired before the season. But never mind, I'm in for Beamer 1 more year at least. Let's just continue on that. All right, well, let's roll into this next game here. Or, I mean, if you want to call it that.
One last thing, because I just saw this as we were looking through. I use 247 for my recruiting and transfer updates. There's a new number 1 player in the portal. Brendan Sorsby has been displaced, and it is a 98%. I don't know how they do their rankings. It's out of stars, but like 100% is the best you can be, and this guy's at 98. Penn State is just hemorrhaging players. This guy, and my shit is taking forever to load, so I can't get his name. But Penn State just lost another one. Their recruiting class took the biggest tumble, and now their transfer portal list is pretty bad. The Nittany Lions have a lot to work on, which is a shame because I think they made a perfect hire regardless. But
yeah, but they're definitely going to have a little bit of a rebuild. Not just going to bounce right back.
So let's get into this last game, third game before we get into the last game. Tulane Ole Miss. This was not a game. This was not a game. I wear the egg on my face. I thought Tulane might have something here. I took a half unit on the money line. I even teased Tulane up to 24 in my big playoff teaser. It's the only leg that didn't hit. They were abysmal, abhorrent, waste of time, disgusting. I don't even have the words for how much of a waste of time that game was. The second Lacey runs in that first touchdown, they had 0 fight left. Picks, turnovers, I mean, you name it. What a pathetic performance. And before I turn it over to you, I'll get on my soapbox here. It's well noted. I'm biased. My sister went to JMU. I've watched some of their games. They're a good team. The people that were pissy and whatever about JMU getting in the playoff need to understand that they didn't watch any football this year. Tulane was not better than JMU. I think JMU would be favored on a neutral site. JMU would beat the shit out of Tulane. They showed more fight. They showed more heart. They're a better team. People that were mad about the Group of 5 thing only focused on JMU, it felt like. They should have focused on Tulane. JMU should have been in as the Group of 5 team regardless. Tulane is a sorry excuse for a team to be in this playoff, and everyone that focused on JMU should be focused on Tulane. That was a piss-poor performance against an Ole Miss team that I don't think is very good without Lane Kiffin. I think they're going to probably get their teeth kicked in. Who do they play? They play Georgia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to take Georgia by 100 million. Tulane was a sorry program playing sorry football, and a lot of people that didn't watch the games this year took it out on JMU when Tulane was a much worse team than JMU. So I'll take a step down. You can.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say on this game. Listen, the one thing I will say is I respected the way Ole Miss came out and just kind of punched them in the teeth and into this fight early. I think Ole Miss is actually playing with a lot of fight. They came out and did everything I was hoping they'd do to maybe show me a little bit of life after losing Kiffin. I am going to jump into the next game immediately following this conversation here. I don't have anything else to say. Tulane did not deserve to be in the playoff.
I got one last thing on this game to say.
Okay, once I'm done here. Tulane did not deserve to be in this game. The committee needed to take a long, hard look in the mirror. And I'll get into the JMU here in a second. JMU did not deserve to be actually, by the rules, they deserve to be in the tournament or the playoff. By logic and reasoning, they had absolutely zero right to be in that tournament at all. But I'll dive into the JMU game here in a second. Tulane, just an absolute pitiful performance. Why even have this game? It ruined my Saturday having to watch this nonsense. I turned it off pretty quick.
We were right when we said that this should have been the noon game. Even though the Miami A&M game stunk from a watchability, it was a good game if you really dive into like football and can appreciate really good defense. That was a good game. It was at least competitive. But we were spot on when we said this Tulane Ole Miss game should be the noon slate. Yeah. I wouldn't even have watched it, if I'm honest, if it was the noon slate. I was watching the Miami game on my phone while I was doing shit around the house. But the only thing I want to say on this Tulane Ole Miss game, I knew my bet was in trouble pre-game. I'd already made it. I wasn't going to waver at that point. But the pop, Vaught Hemingway is not a loud stadium. I'm sorry to our Rebel fan base, but it's not. It's a pretty pathetic home field environment. The Grove sucks. I'm sorry. It is what it is. The pop that the Ole Miss fans gave Golding when he came out, I was like, we might be in trouble here, boys. They rallied around Golding in a way that like I love as a football fan, as a college football fan. If I was an Ole Miss fan, I would be still beside myself about the way the Lane Kiffin thing went down. The pop that Golding got made me very nervous for the bet that ultimately did not hit or even have a chance really. So kudos to them for with everything going on, just staying behind the team. But yeah, that's all I really got on this game. Red Slav threw for 306, which I just saw on ESPN, which is shocking because they only scored 10 points. But
yeah, and next thing, I'm just gonna jump into this. Listen,
jump in.
I hate to say it, JMU. Listen, they were so much worse than Oregon. It's not even funny. Oregon,
for sure.
Oregon took the foot off. Listen, I'm going to applaud JMU for giving us some entertainment in football and not giving up, kind of rolling over and dying the way Tulane did. With that being said, if you watch that football game, Oregon did the exact opposite. Oregon stopped playing football in the second half. They did not care about that game. The game was over. They were playing maybe at 60%. So the score line and JMU putting up points for a box score watcher, that's what happened in that game. Don't try to tell yourself otherwise. However, I do respect the shit out of JMU for still playing hard, regardless of the circumstances. I can give them credit there. Do I think they're maybe a better team than Tulane? I honestly don't know. I don't think the team's good. I don't get a fair read on that. But the committee needs to be better. It's despicable. I've been on this all year long. I think I have the right formula for how it has to happen. You have to be undefeated and win your conference championship, and you can get an automatic bid as a conference champion. That is the only way you get an automatic bid into the college football playoff. Other than that, it's the best 12 teams in the country. I don't see any other fair way to do it.
And I don't disagree with you, but at the end of the day, if the ACC just had the proper tiebreakers in place, Miami plays Virginia, not Duke. Miami beats the shit out of Virginia. Miami and Notre Dame both get in. JMU gets screwed by that, which is unfair because I do think JMU beats Tulane. I do think JMU should have been the group of 5. But if the ACC doesn't have tiebreakers written by Helen Keller, then we're in a much better spot.
I agree, but I also just think everybody needs to be better. I think it just needs to be the best 12 teams. I agree. The ACC needs to adjust that too. I'm not going to scapegoat, but they're compliant.
I might have gotten. Listen, if you follow the Twitter, you've seen minimal research, maximum takes. I'm a headline reader. I watch games. I read headlines. There was a tweet that said Notre Dame is suing the ACC for loss of revenue because of gross negligence. I don't think that's true. I want to live in a world where I believe that's true. That Notre Dame's AD is suing the ACC for keeping them out of the playoff. That's a world I want to live in, where petty college football fans, all the way from the nobodies like us to the AD of one of the biggest brands in college football, is throwing his toys and suing. I think that's hilarious.
I'll tell you what, if that case is tried in the state of Indiana, they might win.
Brother. So we'll get to this when we get to the NFL. I was at the Colts 49ers game last night. I've got a lot of thoughts. We'll get to that. I don't want to jump. There was, I've been to maybe 5 games at 5 Colts games in Indy. This is the first time I've not seen a single Notre Dame anything out there. The Notre Dame fans are hiding, they're scared, they're upset, and they're back here doing this. They're not watching anything. They're just, you couldn't look at a single losing team's comments without seeing a Notre Dame fan or Barstool Notre Dame or whoever being just bitching about why they weren't in. They're still furious, which I get it, but
yeah, well,
but here's what I'm saying. To tie this all back to Oregon, Notre Dame, Oregon, JMU. I agree. Oregon took their foot off the gas, obviously, but JMU played better. I'll ask it this way: who wins on a neutral site, Oregon or Ole Miss?
Oregon.
JMU covered Ole Miss's spread. Ole Miss did not cover JMU's spread.
I know. It's just listen.
Yeah.
Listen. I'm not saying Tulane blows JMU out. I'm not saying JMU blows Tulane out. It'd be a good game. I think you probably have one team wins 6, the other team wins 4 if they play 10 games. I'm not prepared to make a pick on it right now. I'd have to think about it a little bit harder. But irregardless, it just should have been the best 12 teams. I think that's just the point I'm making here.
No, I don't disagree with that. I do think we're heading that way also.
That or 16-team playoff, it's going to be one of the two. But then we're just going to have the same argument again once we get to 16. It just needs to be the 12 best. That's just how it should be, in my opinion.
So, do you have anything else on this game before we move on?
Nope. Jump to the NFL.
Obviously, we'll preview these next week, but just to remind everybody, we've got, these are during the week. We got ourselves a treat. So we got Miami versus Ohio State at the Cotton. The Cotton? Not the Cotton.
AT&T Stadium. It is the Cotton Bowl.
Gotcha. Okay. What's Jerry World called? Also
AT&T Stadium.
Okay. Got it. Well, okay. So
it's just called AT&T Stadium, but it's Jerry World.
Got it. I'm just gonna give the quick matchups and the lines, and then we'll dive in on Tuesday next week. Miami versus Ohio State at the Cotton Bowl. Ohio State minus 9.5. Thursday, the triple header. Oregon at Texas Tech. I cannot wait for that one. Miami, Oregon minus 1.5. Alabama, Indiana in the Rose Bowl. The IU is minus 7. Ole Miss versus Georgia at the Sugar Bowl, New Orleans, Georgia minus 6.5. We'll touch on all that next week. NFL. I'll give Charlie's quick run through, I'll give Charlie's quick run through. Then you can hit yours, and then I'll finish with some sadness, I guess. Right? Does that work for you?
Sounds good.
There's not much that needs to be said about the Panthers game, other than if you.
I will be getting a water real quick while you do this.
Yeah. There's not much that needs to be said on the Panthers-Buccaneers game besides if you took the Buccaneers minus 3 or money line, whatever you took them. If you took the Buccaneers and you're not a Buccaneers fan, that is your fault. You threw away money. You lit it on fire. The Panthers, as dogs, and at home, they win that game. That's just what they've done. That's what they've always done this past couple of years. The Panthers as dogs is when they win. If you see a little minus next to the Panthers, they're not going to win the game. The Panthers do not win as favorites. They don't cover as favorites, but they only win as dogs. The second I saw the lines, this is what came out. I bet the Panthers because the Panthers are dogs at home. The Bucs have a lot of questions that need to be asked. I'm not going to say the Bucs aren't going to make the playoffs because that would mean that I have to inherently trust the Panthers, who I expect. The Panthers, I think, have the Seahawks next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're not in a good spot.
But, I mean, it depends on what the Bucs do. I can't yet say that the Panthers are going to win that division because I don't know. Let's see. The Panthers. I mean, my service is so shitty here. The Panthers are going to probably be dogs at Tampa on Week 18, which logic tells you they'd win that game. They are playing at home against Seattle next week. I think Seattle probably wins that game. The Buccaneers are at the Dolphins. I imagine the Bucs win that game. So essentially what we're going to have is the Buccaneers versus Panthers Week 18 to win the division in Tampa. Again, I imagine the Bucs will be favored in that game, which means bet the Panthers. Baker Mayfield hasn't looked good. The Bucs have their players back. They're not looking good. They can't defend. They couldn't get home on Bryce Young several different times. And Bryce Young scores the go-ahead touchdown. Baker Mayfield throws a pick. It looked like there was a little bit of miscommunication on what went on at the end of the game there, on that game-ending pick. But the Bucs have just went from. I honestly think the podcast that I called them the best team in the NFL, they have been pretty much shit since then. If I'm a Buccaneers fan, I am beside myself that we could not win games in this terrible, terrible division. The Indianapolis Colts with Phillip Rivers would win this division right now. But I don't know how much of that you heard, or what you'd agree with. The Buccaneers are probably one of the most disappointing teams this year, and the Panthers, as I called preseason, are actually no. The Panthers beat my prediction preseason. I called them squarely frisky, and they are challenging for a division. Kudos to the Panthers. Kudos to Bryce Young. Ted McMillan's awesome. Yeah.
So here's the thing. If I'm a Buccaneers fan, I'm actually suing the Nathan Boone LLC for emotional damage, for making my team out to be better than it is. So you might be looking out for that. You, along with the ACC, could be seeing some legal attention here.
I think we have the same lawyer, Scott Boone. This is the lawyer from both parties.
Well, hopefully he does a good job, because could get ugly. Yeah, I mean, the Panthers are good. I, unfortunately, am going to be squarely against them winning in Tampa Bay. I don't think that happens. I don't see a world where that happens. If I'm a Panthers fan, I am praying that the Miami Dolphins can just do some magic for me this weekend, and get the win done. I just don't. I think Baker Mayfield, with it all on the line, I couldn't bet against him in that game. So that's my thoughts on it. I just feel comfortable with Baker Mayfield in the last game of the year. If getting into the playoffs is all on the line in that game, I'm taking Baker Mayfield in the Bucs.
I don't necessarily disagree. I've watched the Panthers win as dogs and the Buccaneers lose as favorites. DraftKings.
It also is a Panthers game on the road, and that's bad news Bears. Bad news Cats, I guess, if you want to be more particular.
DraftKings had a special bet, a prop, if you will, before the game that said to win the division. The Buccaneers to win the division when they're tied going on the road was minus 400. The Panthers were plus 350. So I took the Panthers just so I'm not going to bet on minus 400, or whatever it was. But
yeah.
I mean, that Panthers bet was plus 350 to win the division, and 2 days later it's now like minus 150 or something like that. Like, I mean,
yeah,
listen. The Panthers have played well. You gotta tip your hats to them, but
no, absolutely. I just hope it doesn't come up short. I mean, for Charlie's sake, but I couldn't bet against the Bucs at this point right now. Well, I would have done the same, but you did to be stated though as well. I think that makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, $10 to win.
I would have
35 versus $10 to win 4 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
I will say. I mean, I found myself in this situation a couple months ago when the Colts were 7-1. The Panthers have to be feeling the same way in a sense that they didn't expect to be here, especially after the first couple games. They've lost to the Saints twice. They got shucked twice. If the Panthers ultimately don't go on to win this, an unbiased fan will be like, great season for the Panthers. But as we all are, fan is short for fanatic, and you start to get a little bit of excitement. You start to buy it. You start to see it. I mean, even if I'm a Panthers fan, even though I know they're not Super Bowl contenders, why not? That's how I'm feeling. Why not? So if they were to not make the playoffs now after having a slight lead over the Bucs with two games to play, I'm sure they'll be pretty bummed. But regardless of what happens, I mean, Charlie Walker on this very show has said Dave Canales needs to be fired. It shows the fickleness that we all experience as fans.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in as a Panthers fan, because if you don't win this, you don't end up getting in. It's just more frustrating. It's like, we weren't supposed to be here, but we are. But now it's like, well, we kind of blew it too. Like, shit, like, it's kind of some bad mismanagement. Maybe things do need to change. You can kind of go down both of those rabbit holes and see where things end up. It's a confusing spot to be in as a fan.
Think about us last year after we lost to Alabama. I thought the season was over, and then we go on to me getting to a point in November where I'm in New Zealand watching us play at 9 in the morning on a 7 in the morning on a Sunday on methstreams.com, thinking that we can make a run at the actual championship. It's football's a fickle sport.
Yeah.
With that, Ev, why don't you get into probably the only real, and I hate that I'm saying this, probably the only real contender for actual silverware at the end of the season on this show. The Patriots did it again, and not to steal your thunder, but the boys got it. Drake May, 300 yards. We've been on it for weeks and weeks now. Go ahead.
What a day. Listen, 380 yards passing, and they did exactly what I asked. I sent a text message. Listen, they played a pretty good game up until, honestly, up until Lamar got hurt. They started kind of playing bad.
They just
kind of fell apart a little.
Yeah, Tyler Huntley was in way too long for the Patriots not to have taken that game over.
Yeah, but for whatever reason, once he got in, the play stepped down all across the board, especially defensively. The defense is starting to scare me a little bit. Just getting going on these situations where they're just allowing way too much. So that's something of concern. But like when the defense looks good, it looks really, really, really good. It's just like inconsistent, particularly on the pass rush, and the contain. So that's something I'm gonna have to look at as we move forward. But before I jump into the Patriots a little more and evaluate the win, like you said, I do, for whatever reason, think this team has a chance to get hardware. Do I think in most years, if you ask me this last year, does this team have a chance to get hardware? My answer would be no. But this is the most unpredictable I've ever seen in the NFL, and we'll dive into that here more later. But there is no way you can sit there and confidently tell me, oh, this team's locked to be in the Super Bowl. Like, this team's definitely a Super Bowl contender. Because no one is. You don't know what you're going to get from any team any given week. At least I don't. Maybe you're seeing the board differently than me at this point.
No.
But Drake May. But I sent the text into the group. I want to say Sunday night. It's no more running. It has to be a game where I think I said my exact text was, do not run the ball until you're winning again or in a position to take the lead, kind of thing like that, something along those lines. And that's what they exactly did. Unlike in the Bills game where they played conservative and didn't let Drake May just be Drake May, this game they got down the 2 scores. I want to say it's the 11 points, and then they just gave Drake May the football and let him just sling the ball. And my God, did he look good. That's the best he's looked all year in a row, just passing the ball. The ball was on the spot. Didn't matter who was coming at him. His ability to react to whatever the defense was showing him and just make the right throw. And in that throw to go over 300 yards to Kyle Williams, that was just silly. That was one of the most incredible throws he's made. His deep ball was just unbelievable, and what a catch by Kyle Williams. And I'm happy we went out and got the one. But I'm concerned about some of the injuries. I am. Travion Henderson went down. Offensive linemen keep getting injured. Keyshawn Booty's probably being evaluated for a head injury. And we have got to talk about how in the world that wasn't a pass interference. He got pass interfered with 3 different times in the same play, in which one of the things could have been called. He got tackled, and he still almost made the catch. He actually probably still should have made the catch, to be totally honest with you. That would have put him over 400 yards, which would have been insane. That's the second game in a row where there's been blatant pass interference calls missed on Patriots wide receivers that have resulted in taking away of a big play or a big play. But what a win from the Patriots. This is a statement win. It's a come from behind win. It shows a lot of character from the team win. And Drake May having his MVP drive. Now, unfortunately, with the numbers Matt Stafford put up this week as well, we'll dive into that game here in a second. One of the best Thursday night football games I've ever watched in my life.
Honestly, maybe the best. We'll touch on that, obviously, but maybe the best ever.
But overall, I think this game answered a lot of questions for Patriots fans. Way to rebound, come back. It had this signature come from behind win. This is a playoff win. It is a playoff type win against a team who is battling for a playoff spot, and now probably aren't going to get in, which I am happy about. I'm very happy about, because I'll tell you what, there's one team who I have circled that I'd love to get some revenge on from a loss earlier in this year. So
the Las Vegas Raiders.
Well, yeah, that'd be great too. That's crazy to think.
That's how long football season is. Yeah, I had 3 entries in a survivor pool, and my first loss this season in a survivor pool was the Patriots losing to the Raiders. And the Patriots are now the top team.
I have breaking news on the show.
Let's get it.
South Carolina, in a quick hire, has brought in a coach who could bring in some good things for the university with a lot of recruits leaving. We are bringing in, drum roll please. Oh shit, I lost his name, so that's going to be a quick So they are bringing in the Penn State defensive line outside linebackers coach to have the same position in South Carolina. So that's 2 coaches from Penn State coming to South Carolina. That could be very, very good as it relates to transfers.
Let me go ahead and share my screen because I finally got that guy's name. A Penn State outside linebacker defensive lineman, Chaz Coleman. Number 1 overall, number 1 edge. At first I thought that said his age was 27. I was going to shit my pants. 6'4", 246, a 98 grade, 5-star. Just entered the transfer portal. The new number 1 prospect. I mean, I check 247 pretty regularly. And this guy has not been on there. And now this news is being. You put him. I mean, listen.
Deion Barnes. Deion Barnes is the name of the coach. Deion Barnes.
Brian Thomas Jr. had a great season, but if we compare Chaz Coleman up with Dylan Stewart next year, keep Fred Johnson. I think we lost Kilgore and Cisse to the draft, but I go Cox. That's all I'll say. Wow, that's awesome. That's big time news.
That's huge. That. And I think that's quick, too. Now Dylan Stewart has an answer on who his future coach is going to be, too. Yeah. That doesn't leave any uncertainty for him. I think that could be huge. Wow.
But going back to your point, let's keep our – that's incredible news. It's hard for me to focus. I got to text Superfan Risco about this. I'm looking at the playoff picture right now. The AFC West is not confirmed. Okay, let me just go this way. Broncos, Patriots, Jacksonville, Chargers, Bills. 5 of the 7 spots are accounted for. The Steelers and the Ravens division winner will get that spot. The Colts are 2 games behind the Texans for the last spot. Texans are going to get that. I'm hoping the Texans can win the division because I hate the Jaguars more than the Texans. That's neither here nor there. That's loser behavior. In the NFC... we've got the Seahawks, the Bears, the Eagles, the Niners, the Rams, all clinching. The Panthers, Bucks get the other one. And then we've got the Lions fighting the Packers. In a rare case where the tie doesn't hurt you, we've got the Lions down to the Packers. The Lions, I don't know that the Lions are going to make the playoffs. We'll get to them here in a second, but there are 2 wild card spots, there's 1 wild card spot left to grab in both division or both conferences. The playoff picture is starting to really shape up. And since we've already mentioned them, did you have anything else on the Patriots before I just dive into the Colts?
No. Go ahead and jump in on your Colts here. Oh wait, actually, I did have to rub before. I want one last transfer of good news to bad news. A Boston and Indiana team faced off last night in the battle of losing your star players, ruptured Achilles. The Celtics, in a nice comeback win, just added insult to injury on Indiana's night last night. All right, continue now.
I don't know that. I see what you're doing. I'm just not really that bought in. I don't really care. The Pacers aren't very good. I have been locked into the hard court, the collegiate hard court. I've got my eye on Boozer, I've got my eye on Peterson, and I've got my eye on...
Well, Peterson just decides he doesn't like playing. So
good. I don't want him to play. I don't want him to play. Keep him healthy.
I was at Fog Allen last night. The fans are getting restless with him. They don't care about him anymore. Apparently, he's starting to cause some drama here in Lawrence, Kansas.
Oh, in Debanza. Listen, This has been a fun college basketball year, so I'm totally good with the Pacers stinking. I did watch a little bit of that game. I got to be honest, I don't care.
I don't really care either. I just wanted to rub it in a little bit.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but it didn't. Yeah.
I don't really.
The Fever are going to be back here soon. Don't care. I'm a women's basketball guy. The Gamecocks and the Fever.
Listen, let me actually say one quick thing on women's sports. Yeah. Dude, women's volleyball in the tournament is incredible.
It's incredible.
What? Fuck the WNBA.
Wait, I'm so glad.
Go watch women's volleyball.
I'm so glad you said this. Okay, tell me if this is a crazy comment. Women's volleyball did not just come around this year, right?
I must have been just zoned out or something.
Why? Where has the coverage been? because the women's volleyball tournament is insane. It's unbelievable.
It's awesome.
The talent, and my fiance, she played volleyball as well, so she's kind of helping me understand what's going on. Like, there's stuff that I don't understand, like why they do this, not that. So she's helping me. And, dude, I've just added volleyball to my repertoire of shit that I like to watch now, which is dangerous.
Volleyball's awesome.
It's incredible. But I've for so long I've been a sand volleyball at the Olympics only, mainly because the U.S. was so good. But sand volleyball is also fun. There's only 2 people. The like gamesmanship or the strategy that has to come. I love like the hard court volleyball indoor. I don't even know what it's called. But
yeah, I don't know.
The fake spike, the person that jumps for the fake spike, I love that shit. The libero in a different jersey, I love
that. That's my favorite player.
It's incredible.
That's my favorite player.
It's always the smallest girl who's just like she's by the net and somehow diving up 30 feet. It looks like to get a ball. The NCAA has some shit to answer for not telling us about college volleyball sooner. I mean, it is so fun to watch.
Listen, it absolutely is, and I actually have been a hardcourt fan in the Olympics previously, both men's and women. I did like beach volleyball more. I think I still do like beach volleyball more just because of how hard it looks, and I can respect that. But It is incredible to watch on the hardcourt. I'm not going to say the creepy old man thing that everyone's thinking, but that doesn't help or hurt at all by any means.
You're creepy, but you're not old yet. So
listen, it's just an incredible sport to watch. It is so much fun to watch. I haven't been able to find a way to bet on it yet either. Working on that. Once I figure that out, that will be something added to my betting slips as well.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, we don't even really need to talk about the Colts. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm skipping it if you'd like.
No. I want to touch on it. To the woman who sat in front of me last night, I have been to countless football games as an away fan, as a home fan, as a neutral fan. I have never in my life been around somebody so obnoxious, annoying, and if I'm going to be honest, just flat out ugly to be saying the shit that she was saying, to the point where the people to my left, it was a guy and his girlfriend. The guy was a Colts fan. His girlfriend was a 49ers fan. And the 49ers are winning, and she puts on her jacket to not associate with the person in front of us. That's how dipshit annoying she was. But listen, regardless, look, the 49ers are a better team. They beat us. 49ers have dealt with some significant injuries. I don't fully understand what our defensive game plan was. It felt like receivers were open every play. There was no stopping them. The one time we did get a good play and got a strip sack, the receiver, I can't remember who it was. I think it wasn't it was Tongs, the backup tight end. He was coming around on some weird end-around fake route and caught the strip sack out of the air and got a 3-yard gain. I mean, nothing went our way, defensively at least. I just wish that you could have we weren't going to win both the games against the Seahawks and the 49ers. I get that. We're injured. We have no secondary right now. We have no quarterback right now. We'll get to Phil in a second because that's a little bit harsh for me to say. I just wish that they would have decided which game they would, okay, get blown out by the Seahawks and then the offense and defense both play well against the 49ers or vice versa. The defense last week the Seahawks to 18 points, I think. The Seahawks just scored 38 on the Rams, one of the best teams in football. Our defense held them to 18 points last week. The offense last week scored 16. We scored 27, I think, on the 49ers. I just wish they had coordinated so we could have gotten a win in one of those games. Listen, things aren't good. Things aren't good right now. I have been on the fire Steichen train for most of the offseason this year. I think I've turned full heel on that. I think you got to keep Steichen at least one more year. I'm open to getting rid of Ballard. I don't think they will. It's just not how they've done things. Phil Rivers, you can't ask a 44-year-old who has not played in 5 years or whatever to play much better than that. I mean, he got the ball out. He made adjustmts. Except for the pick six at the end of the game, you're pressing. It was a shitty play, whatever. I mean,
well, on that one, it's like that he just audibled into a play he thought was going to work perfectly, watching from a TV, and it was just,
But at that point, like that did not cost us the game.
No.
Amir Abdullah fumbling the kickoff in the first quarter, and the game tied 7-7, and then we never got the lead back. That was such a momentum killer. If you watched, Amir Abdullah did not come back in the game as a returner the rest of the game. He got replaced by a rookie, a white returner, number 9. I think he's white, or light skinned, whatever. Phil Rivers was the right call to bring in over Riley Leonard. He sees the game. He's given us a better chance to win than Riley Leonard would have. At this point, the rest of the season, if Anthony Richardson can go, you have to play Anthony Richardson. I know they just opened up his window last week, so I don't know how those rules work. They keep saying 21-day practice window. I don't know if that means he has to practice for 21 days or kind of what that looks like. If he can go, you have to play him because Phil Rivers is going to be retired again at the end of the year. The season's lost. We're not going to go to the playoffs. Everything's done. The Sauce Gardner trade was a swing. I appreciated the swing. It's not working out. It is what it is. At this point, everything is focused on getting better and healthy for next year. This is, again, loser talk. We're going to have the third place schedule, that is good. We're not going to have the NFC West again this next year. That is good. You just got to kind of put everything into next year's basket. The offense played well. It was an entertaining game. At the end of the day, I'll get to say that I watched Phillip Rivers play at 44 to try to keep us in the playoff hunt. I will give slight credit to 49ers fans. They traveled really well. They were loud. They were there. You could feel their presence there. I just wish the one stupid bitch wasn't in front of me that was the most obnoxious, annoying fan I've ever been around. And, Evan, I've been around you at away games when you're pissed drunk. She was way worse. Way worse.
Hey, okay. I think you're okay. I am somewhat respectful at away games.
Yeah, but that's not what, like.
Yeah.
I'm not just talking about away games. I'm talking about you as in general pissed drunk.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah,
that's horrible. Yeah. She was terrible. To the point where I thought, no, I won't get there. The Colt list, the defense played terrible. The offense gave us a shot. They scored 27 points with a 44-year-old. And not like a Brady 40. You know what I mean? This is a guy who has to put in perspective, because obviously you know me better than some of our viewers have. The last game Phillip Rivers played, the playoff game against the Buffalo Bills, was the day I picked up my dog from the breeder. That's how long it had been since Phillip Rivers had played. His last game was the same day I got my dog. My dog is now 7. My dog's now 6, but he was, got him 5 years, regardless. They played as well as they could have. I don't think you get rid of Steichen. I am open to getting rid of Ballard because he's had 7 or 8 years and he's not won the division. It hasn't historically been that good of a division. This year it is, but the 49ers look really good. I would be very nervous in the NFC playing the 49ers in the playoffs. The Colts season is effectively over. The thing I will say, and I guess I'll close it here, is I appreciated the swing. I said that. I appreciate that they did not just roll over and die. They've at least fought. The Jaguars game was what it was. You don't really have an option there. But they fought their asses off against the Seahawks. The 49ers game is kind of a weird situation where the score feels like it's a little bigger than what it should have been, but at the same time, if you watch that game, the Colts were exasperated trying to figure out what to do on offense, and the 49ers seemed like they should have won that game by a lot. It's just one of those games. I mean, they've continued to fight, which is all you can really ask for when you dealt a shitty situation. So,
I got 2 things. One, they deserve to lose for coming out in those jerseys last night. That's partially on them.
So bad. When we got to the game and I saw the players warming up and I saw the black trim on the blue sleeves and I was like, oh no, we're not. Are we really doing this jersey thing?
Yeah, that wasn't smart.
Those are the worst jerseys in professional football, outside of maybe the
Miami Dolphin black and
the fucking Is it the Packers one where they have like the fake looking leather hats? The Packers ones,
those are pretty bad.
Any Steelers throwback, the Bumblebee and the other one are both horrible.
Well, so the problem was the jersey would have been horrible if you'd maybe gone with like a white helmet, but the black helmet was just the capper under.
They're the Indianapolis Blue Devils at that point.
Yeah, they were awful. Second thing, listen, the NFC West is hands down the best division in football. I think you have 3 legit Super Bowl contenders in that division. I think the 49ers, despite injuries, are really playing well at the right time. They're clicking offensively.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy's looking a lot more comfortable. Kyle Shanahan continues just to do his mastery of an offense.
I just don't buy Brock Purdy. I've watched him up close and personal. The throws, he made great throws, but like that, his players were all open. Kittle is a fucking problem.
But that's all I have to say in that game. But yeah, let's dive into some NFL games this week. I think first, let's dive into the NFC West.
Really quick, if I can, I'm just going to plug my laptop charger in.
Absolutely. All right. Well, as Boone's plugging in his charger here, we're going to dive into this NFC West matchup on Thursday night between Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks, as well as Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams. And, Matt Stafford really in this game kind of took the opportunity to really...
Do you want to... Go.
Yeah, I just kind of introed the game there and was telling everybody how Matt Stafford really just kind of set himself apart in the MVP race, really made it truly his race to lose.
We were talking about Rams Seahawks?
Yeah, Rams Seahawks here.
Yeah.
What a game. I mean, probably the game of the year. Had the markings of that going into it. Definitely could have been, man. Definitely could have been.
No, it could have been. There was just one other game this week that, it wasn't quite the game of the year as a whole, but the finish was. We'll get to that next. Go ahead, Rams Seahawks.
And
this
just
is the best
unbelievable.
Thursday night game I've ever watched.
Unbelievable. It lived up to all the expectations. We have got to talk about that 2-point conversion. Oh, my God. That's one of the wildest plays I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe it happened like that. And everyone's like, oh, look at Zach Charbonneau, staying with the play, hustling.
He was not staying with the play.
No. He literally just picked up the ball and happened to be standing in the end zone. Yeah, he had no intention of doing that.
No.
That was not him hustling. That was just luck. It was pure luck. Yeah. It was awesome to watch. Just an incredible play, an incredible game. Sam Darnold, way to nut up at the end of that game. Just unbelievable. That's some of the best I've ever seen Sam Darnold play. Just made big throw after even bigger throw. Jackson Smith-Njigba, again, just came silent first half, huge in the second half. Puka Nacua, go fuck yourself. I fucking hate you. You're way too good at football. And you killed me in my fantasy game.
Puka kept me alive.
And finally, Puka. Listen, I get you want to talk about the officiating. The officiating was not lost that game, dude. If you're gonna call it officiating, do it the million other times you can. It was just
but you
stupid.
got to think about it. Like that 2-point conversion, very well could have cost that. And that was officiating. Like I don't ever get on the side of bitching about the refs. Listen. Let me.
You can't bitch about that call.
Yes, you can.
You can't. No,
Why?
it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous
Puka can't bitch about that call because you don't get to be a professional athlete making a shitload of money, being super athletic, super awesome. You don't get to then also get to bitch. That's for us. You don't get to bitch about the refs, Puka. But
I know, but honestly, that wasn't even really the refs that made that call. That was New York calling in, by the way.
Which is just retired refs.
Yeah, I know, but you can't. I don't know.
Regardless, I don't think it's that. I think it's less crazy for him to bitch about the refs in this one. I don't know. That was the craziest call of all time. I kind of like Puka having a little bit of shit to him because he's the kid from BYU, the little 6th-round Mormon draft pick kid. I think it's kind of funny when he's being a shithouse. But
yeah, what a game! Unbelievable game.
So this was for the fans at home that don't obviously know the stuff that goes on in our life. This was my fiance's birthday, so I, out of respect for her, I didn't ask her to watch football. Just so happens that right when the fourth quarter starts, she's ready to go to bed. So I'm like, okay, well, if you don't mind, if you're going to sleep, I'm going to watch the game. What a fourth quarter. Holy shit. This was, I know I've said it 3 times now, this was the best Thursday night football game I think I've ever watched.
It was an unbelievable game, man. I got off the plane I was on a plane, and I got to watch the whole second half, or maybe I missed 5 minutes in the third quarter. But I got all the good parts, man. Fourth quarter, overtime, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just such a good game.
Yeah. Just from front to back, there was stakes on it. It's end of the season. These are two of the best teams. I would be shocked if the NFC representative in the Super Bowl is not from the NFC West.
Same. 100%.
Anything left on this one before we touch? I have like 3 games I want to touch on before we can jump into the preview.
Yeah, let me make sure I have my notes here too. Pull up. Yep, I have 1. Yeah, I got 3 as well. Or 4. I got 4 I want to touch on.
I have 6 listed here, but I can touch on in 3 games. Let's move on to the Saturday game that I'm sure we're both thinking about, because most of America that's not a JMU or Oregon fan, you missed JMU's comeback or JMU's score because of this game. This game is why I was in my seat until the pick 6 at Lucas Oil, because I watched the Bears do this to the Packers. I mean, what a boring-ish game for 52 minutes, 55 minutes even. The finish, and we could just kind of focus on the finish, but holy crap. This is the difference between a typical Bears team, and Big Cat has said this a couple times, so I'll give him credit, obviously. If you're listening to this show, you probably have already listened to that, so I'm not breaking any news here. The Bears with Matt Eberflus lose this game by 3 touchdowns with the same exact teams. The onside kick, first off, Romeo Doubs, I mean, if I'm a Packers fan, I'm pretty furious at Romeo Doubs.
I'm always furious at Romeo Doubs.
But
he always fucks me.
He got fucking laid out in this hit. To get the Bears the chance. And it's right off the heels of Cairo Santos kicking that field goal and taking 37 years to get that kickoff for him to just make it right under the 2-minute warning. I mean, that kick took 35 seconds. And then they end up scoring to a rookie who had just dropped the ball on like 2 drives before, number 20. I can't remember his name now. But what a ballsy performance by the Chicago Bears. Things you don't expect to ever hear yourself say. The defense played well. The offense played well. Caleb Williams might actually be that guy, as much as I hate to say it. This was the most exciting finish that we've seen all year, I think. I mean, the Ravens-Bills week 1 was awesome. But for the unprecedented odds that the Bears had when they were down, what was it, like 10 points or whatever it was? I can't even remember.
10 points.
The unprecedented odds, and then especially after Santos doesn't get the kickoff before the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an all-time collapse by the Packers, to be sort of fair, but also just an unbelievable job by Caleb Williams and the Bears to come back and win this game. And the throw he made at the end of the game, what an unbelievable throw and catch between him and DJ Moore. I'm starting to come around on Caleb Williams. He's starting to ball out. I am also excited for the first round of the playoffs when the Bears inevitably just absolutely collapse and have an all-time disaster game.
So, yeah, right now the Bears would be – if the season ended today, the Bears would be playing the Packers. And if you don't think the Packers win in Soldier Field, you have never watched football in your life. I don't care who is playing.
Please give me that.
I don't care who is playing. Yeah, this game was awesome. I always love when, because obviously the Bears needed a field goal to win the game. There's no reason to take a 60 or 50-yard shot to the end zone. But I always appreciate when a team takes shots like that. Do not leave the game up to the kicker. The kicker is one of the least paid players. The kicker is one of the least paid players on the team for a reason.
Unless you got like Adam Vinatieri, don't be trusting your kicker.
Yeah.
He's probably the end of the list I'd trust 100% of the time. End of the list.
Yeah, I mean, probably. But to take the shot, DJ Moore catching just not only was it good defense, it was a great route. It was great defense for the most part. I mean, he's right there.
Hit wins the quarter.
It's the whole there's no defense for a perfect pass thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible game. You have anything else on this one before we jump into the next one?
No.
What was your next game you had?
Yeah, so I just had a Bills-Browns on here. Josh Allen just...
If we're going to talk Bills-Browns, I want to lump in Raiders-Texans because it was the same picture, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Bills just looked awful in this game. Browns...
James Cook looked solid.
Shador looked pretty good in this game. The Texans made me scared. And this is the first time I've seen that defense just look awful for the Texans. Like, they looked lost. They were just confused most of this game.
Listen, as an Ashton Genty fantasy owner in one of my leagues,
where
the fuck was this, dude? Where the fuck was this? I was fighting for my life in the consolation bracket to not have the fantasy punishment, so I appreciate you coming through. But, like, my brother in Christ, where you been all year?
Yeah, he became Superman at some point in that game.
And the Texans, to their credit, the Texans have been pretty solid about stepping on teams that are bad. The Bills, though, are the opposite. The Bills, whatever the team they're playing calls for is how they play. Like, if they're playing the Patriots, offensive explosion. They come back. It's they do everything they need. They're playing the Browns. They just play with their food until the food bites back. I mean, it's hard to trust what happens if the Bills, because it looks like the Patriots, I don't know if y'all clinched or if y'all officially have the 1 seed.
We actually don't control the 1 seed. So the 1 seed is the Denver Broncos unless they lose. However,
they lost
do
this week.
Yeah, they have the tiebreaker against us for
tiebreaker based on best. Okay, I see.
However, they do play the Chargers in the last week of the year, and that is a very losable game on a Chargers team that's fighting for playoff position. So, and the Patriots in the season
clinched though, so like the Chargers,
but they're fighting for playoff position.
Yeah, I'm sure they want to play the Steelers.
And we have the Dolphins next week and the Jets this week. So, Patriots should win out, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario to me is the Bills play the Steelers and they lose to the Steelers because they're playing down to the competition.
Yeah.
I left the Patriots-Bills game last week being like the Bills should be the favorites in the AFC, and now I'm back on.
Well, and then also look at the Broncos. I was feeling the same way. And then
let's touch on that game because this is the last game I had to talk about.
Let's get to that one.
The Jags, man. You and I both have called the Jags frauds all season. I can't say
hand up. No, that was scary. That was scary.
The Jags look.
That was terrifying.
Yeah,
But however, this Broncos defense sometimes does this where they just suck. They're just like, we're not going to play football today. It's happened twice this year.
How much better the Jags looked with Jacoby Myers than
what a mid-season
Travis
pickup.
Hunter. They gave a 3-year extension already.
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers does exactly.
Shout out Jacoby Myers.
He does exactly what they drafted Travis Hunter to do.
Yup. He's a great player.
Yeah. So, I mean, another one?
Dylan Stewart is coming back to South Carolina.
Where'd you see that?
Instagram.
He just posted it?
Run it back, Dylan Stewart. Ho ho!
I'm officially on Chaz Coleman watch now. What a show for the viewers. Oh, man. Charlie, you suck, dude. You're out. When you're on the show, bad things happen, my brother. I'm sorry. But, I mean, Stewie, new coach. I mean, obviously Stewart probably knew about the new coaching hire coming, but he knew that before us.
Yeah.
But, I mean, fuck yeah. What a day.
Hey, I said it here earlier on the show. He was more likely to be back than Nick Harbaugh. Now, Now I'm going to be greedy. I want 3. I want all 3 of them back. Bring Nick Harbor back.
I would rather have Fred Johnson back than Harbor, if I'm honest.
That's fine. I mean, I'm all smiles if you guys can't tell.
Nick, come on the show. We'll talk about your whole process.
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
And listen, you know what I love? You know what I love about the Dylan Stewart thing too? No video. He's a mean mugging defensive end. He just said run it back. That guy's coming back hungry next year. He's hungry. Hey, you know what, Sterling Lucas? Go fuck yourself. Have fun in LSU. We're going to fucking beat the shit out of LSU if we play them at some point. Kind of want to play LSU in the SEC championship game just to kick the shit out of Sterling Lucas. Fuck you, Sterling Lucas. That's a shout out here. Thanks for being a great coach, though, and all he did for us. But fuck you. Wow, fired up. That's awesome. Let's see.
I wanna. Is his picture just Stewie from Family Guy?
No, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it is. Yep, coming back. Run it back. There you go for the people that are tuning in.
That's huge.
That's massive.
I can't talk anymore NFL now. Throw back.
Well, I want to touch on one game really quick.
Sure.
And it's the Steelers Lions, and I only want to touch on it for this reason. Did you see the video of Aaron Rodgers talking shit after Aaron Rodgers runs for a first down, tries to help a Lions defender up. The Lions defender doesn't accept his for his teammate. And he goes, "What, you mad? You mad because you can't outrun a 42-year-old?" Incredible. Rodgers still has his fastball. Love that. That Lions Steelers game doesn't have anything. I'm sorry, Ben. I know you wanted us to talk about it. Steelers are good. Steelers are good-ish. They're good-ish. They're going to probably make the playoffs. The Ravens stink. The Steelers are good. Congrats, Ben, on the AFC North. Nobody asked you. I was the first to tell you.
Hey, you're also welcome, Ben. You're also welcome to the Patriots.
You are.
Gave you a loss, or gave you a win, and then we also gave you a loss, knocking out the Ravens.
That's true.
I don't have much to say on the Patriots. Listen, we're playing the Jets. The Jets are bruised, battered, defeated. Just go win the football game. I don't really care how it looks. I'm not worried about how it looks at the end of the game. Just win the game. Also, hey, Drake May, you want to throw for another 300 yards? Maybe throw for 400. Let's go win that MVP. I'm for it. Go for it. Just win the game. Stay healthy. Don't play players that are injured. That's all I need to say about that game. Got nothing else to say on the Patriots. Just win.
Yeah. The Colts have the Jacksonville Jaguars in Indy. We're going to win that game because it makes no sense. We're going to win that game. The Texans are going to beat us in Houston Week 18, and the Texans are going to get the AFC South. That's kind of all I have to say about the Colts. And the Panthers play the Seahawks. The Panthers are going to lose. I'm sorry, Charlie.
Yeah. They've got some really good matchups this week as well.
Yeah, I think we should, as far as this, we should just focus on the teams that are actually playing for things.
Yeah. So, yeah, Texans Chargers, that's a great game on Christmas. On Saturday. I'm pissed back. Lions Vikings. Lions have to win that game. I do think they get it done. And make a little bit bigger push in the NFC there, but I just don't think the Vikings are very good. I don't have much to say on this. I also think the Lions are very good. The Lions have not shown what they're supposed to be this year.
If the Lions win, the Lions win and the Packers lose to the Ravens, then the Lions have a win and in against the Bears in Week 18, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. Okay.
So
interesting.
That's what I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for a Lions win and a Packers loss, just to keep some interesting shit for Week 18. But yeah, let's talk Christmas Day. I guess the only game that really matters is the Broncos Chiefs. The Broncos need to win. The Chiefs are experiencing a Colts-like meltdown, not in the sense of where they started, but they're Mahomes tears his ACL. 1 week later, Gardner Minshew tears his ACL. I feel really bad for Gardner Minshew. Don't care about Patrick Mahomes. Broncos should win that game. It's at Kansas City. If you are a spread better and you're taking the 13.5, I think that's silly. That just feels like a trappy spot at Arrowhead. Let's see. Yeah, the Thursday night games lost all their buzz. The Cowboys are out. The Commanders are out. The Lions are fighting. The Vikings are out. I mean, yeah, it's just all kind of lost its buzz. The 3 games.
Saturday's incredible.
Well, I was going to say, as an Indiana native, I appreciate the NFL Saturday or Christmas Day slate sucking so I can watch the NBA. Because that's what Christmas is for. It's not for football. I'm sorry. It's just not.
I disagree. I'll have every day be for football if that was an option.
That's fine. It's just Christmas is the one day I want to watch the NBA.
That's fair. Texans Chargers. That's going to be an exciting game.
The Chargers fighting through both their tackles being out for the season. They deserve a lot of credit. Jim Harbaugh deserves so much credit for how he's kept that team together. Hampton's looking good again too.
Yep. They could be back.
I think the Texans are. What were you going to say? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I think the Chargers are good. Chargers are feisty. Chargers are not a team I want to play in the playoffs. They could just have a weirdly good game and just beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. And if Hampton is playing ball again, then what do you think about the Ravens at the Packers?
Lamar Jackson's got to play. The Packers are going to run all over him. What's the status of Jordan Love as well? Do you know?
I don't. I haven't seen anything on either of those guys. The last thing I fucking want is a Tyler Huntley versus Malik Willis.
Oh, God.
Saturday night cap.
I would abstain from watching. Actually, no, that's not true. I'd watch anyway. Yeah. But I fucking hate this shit because I have to watch one game on NFL Network and then the other one on Peacock. Like, come on, guys. Thank God I have Sunday tickets, but...
Does that...
I think Sunday ticket still gets them. I think Sunday ticket you still get them. Hopefully.
Okay. Because I also have Sunday ticket.
If not, I'm gonna have a real problem with the NFL Sunday ticket. There's gonna be. I have Peacock though, so I'm okay there. I don't know about.
I have all of these. I have all these things. I would just like to watch it all on YouTube TV so I can flip back and forth.
Yeah. That there. I mean, I got the Packers winning this. I think, and I think the Ravens just take the death blow. That's just kind of what I see. That's kind of what I'm picturing. But I would love to see the Ravens win because my preseason prediction is that the Packers don't make the playoffs, and so I would love to see that come true. However, I'd also love to see the Packers just knock out the Bears in the first round of the playoffs too. That would also be pretty funny.
My preseason prediction was the Ravens to win the Super Bowl, so that's obviously dead. But I would like to see the Ravens win only so we can have that interesting matchup Week 18. For the Bears and the Lions. Looking at Sunday, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and skip. Much. I'm going to skip all the way down. We've already talked about Seattle.
It's a Sunday night. Sunday afternoon.
There's 2 good games on Sunday outside of the Panthers and the Seahawks.
Yep. Eagles Bills.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. I don't really know how to see it. I think a lot of people might have had that as a preseason Super Bowl, potential Super Bowl matchup. I don't see it going that way. I don't see either of those. I can't rule the Bills out of being in the Super Bowl. I can't. The AFC's so weak, and there's no true dominant player in the AFC.
Well, there's no Mahomes, there's no Burrow, there's probably no Lamar. I mean, Josh Allen will. Obviously, I know your bias, and I respect your bias. Josh Allen should be the best quarterback in the AFC in the playoffs.
He should be if he gets in, when he gets in. And my hope is, listen, I love the Patriots' chances against any team. The only team that really gives me a lot of concern is the Bills. So if the Bills could just get knocked out of the playoffs early, have a little shit loss somewhere, I'd be happy with that. So anything worse about their positioning going into the playoffs would be fantastic. I'd love them have to play their first game at Mile High Stadium out in Denver. That'd be fantastic for me. So I'm rooting for the Eagles in this one. I don't know who's going to get it done, though. Eagles have been a little shaky. Bills have been a little shaky. Who knows which team you get from either team coming into this.
Yeah. And then the Sunday night game.
Fantastic game.
That's a treat.
And I'm pretty sure, correct me if I am wrong on this, I believe the 49ers control their own fate for the number 1 seed in the playoffs. So I love the 49ers in the spot, actually. I just think they're the better team. They're playing really, really well. However, so are the Bears. But Candlestick Park out in San Francisco, as you mentioned, not only do 49ers fans travel well, they stay at home very well, too. They are a great fan atmosphere. You could get some rough weather conditions out in the Bay there, so that's definitely an exciting game to look at.
I appreciate that you call it Candlestick and not Levi.
Yeah. Hey. I'm a fan at heart, and I hate it when these names get bought out. It's just stupid. Yeah. I'm going to stick their old original names.
I'm trying to look at what else we got going on. I mean, the Rams-Falcons. This is not the best slate because a lot of the, if we're looking at it, going all the way back to Christmas, Cowboys, Commanders are out, Lions have to win, Vikings out, Denver needs to win, don't have to win, Chiefs are out. Houston, LA is good. The Saturday slate's good, but then Arizona, Cincinnati, both are out. Pittsburgh at the Browns. Browns could get a sneaky little upset, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
The Saints at the Titans. I cannot believe the Saints are only -3. Jacksonville, Indy. The Colts have to win to stay alive. I think the Colts do win that game, but I'm a biased fan. Tampa at Miami. Miami's out. Tampa has to win. New England at the Jets. Don't bother, Jets. Seahawks at the Panthers. That's interesting. I think the Seahawks win. I don't think they cover. Giants at the Raiders. Who cares? And then Eagles, Buffalo, good game. Bears, 49ers, good game. Rams, Falcons. I mean, sure. Who cares? You want to finish up with... I can give us a quick gambling corner update, and we can do our picks. We'll get Charlie's picks later. I think as far as the parlay goes, we'll just make sure we post it on Christmas. So if you're not following the Twitter, if you're not following on the Twitter, follow on the Twitter. The parlays will be posted there. Rizzy McGuire, I'm sure will post us. So thank you, Rizzy. And then we got to do our Survivor pool. So Charlie picked a horrible week to miss because there was a shakeup. Last week's best bets. Evan, you had Bills -10. That did not hit. Giants money line, that did not hit. And the Chargers Cowboys over, that did hit. So you got 1 point, bringing you from 15 to 16.
Oh boy.
I had the Lions -7. Nah. I had the Colts money line. And I had the Colts 49ers under 47. That didn't even make it through the first half. So I got 0 points this week. Charlie's bitch ass. Pats +3, that hit. Dolphins money line, negative. Rams Seahawks over 42.5, that did hit. So Charlie is now the leader in the clubhouse. The scores go as they: Evan 16, me 20, Charlie 21. That said, Charlie is still allergic to hitting our parlays. The Kyron Williams anytime touchdown is the thing that kept our NFL parlay from hitting. I still can't believe that didn't hit. But yeah. So Ev, I'll kick it to you, and we'll get Charlie's later. What's your best bet for week 17? Guys, there's only 2 weeks left. So while Evan's looking at this, there's only 2 weeks left. Cherish this. Love it. Kiss it goodnight. Football is coming to a close faster than we know it. Appreciate these days we have.
Yeah, so my best bet for the week is going to be Bucks -5.5.
It's one of my two. All right, I'm going to take, and I'll ask you whether I can have this or not, because I'm fine to take it the other way. Can I take Texans money line, or do I have to take the? Oh wait, they're never mind.
Yeah,
never mind.
You can take Texans.
I thought when I saw the -2.5 it was for them.
Do you want to take it as +2?
Nope, I'm taking Texans money line.
Okay.
I think they win that game. I think they have to win that game. And I'm going to send it back to you with the Bears money line for my dog of the week.
Okay. My dog of the week. You know what? Can I take the Ravens as my dog?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me take the Ravens.
The other one I looked at was the Browns. I just feel like the Browns are due one more thing. I think if the Ravens can do that for you and then the Browns beat the Steelers, we have some interesting things happening week 18.
Yep.
What do you have for your over, or your over-under?
I have the Patriots Jets over 43.
I'm going to take the Eagles-Bills over 44.
Okay.
And then we'll get Charlie's picks. We'll get all this added. Don't worry, fam. And the parlay, again, we'll post the parlay before Christmas. If you don't see the parlay before Christmas, it's because we didn't have any Christmas games. Tune in, turn the notifications on. We'll have all those picks coming. Right now, if you just take Evan and I's parlay picks and fade Charlie's with the other leg, that's been hitting at a exorbitant rate. So, just a little bit of advice. As we do with most shows, unfortunately, Ev, all four of the picks, all four of the people have made it still. So let's get in to our third to last Survivor pick. And I only think there's a couple. I like the Lions. I like the Bucks.
I like the Bengals.
Yeah, I could get behind that. I like the Jags, but I'm not allowed on that pick.
I like the Lions. I think we just go Lions.
You think we go Lions over Bucks?
Yes. Because you never know with these goddamn Dolphins. You never know what they're going to do.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Lions it is.
Let's do it.
All right. So, as y'all can see, we kind of rushed at the end. We're both trying to do our holidays, get our holidays started, and the Dylan Stewart news kind of threw everything.
Yeah.
I just want to go watch Dylan Stewart highlights now.
Early Christmas. Merry Christmas to us.
Yeah.
That's all I needed. I don't need anything else for the year. And listen, credit to us. I don't think either of us wavered on we expected him back, really, for the most part. Were we a little nervous?
No.
Sure. We were actually more nervous at the beginning of the show, announcing that story, Lucas news. Now all that is gone, so that's exciting. Well, but I don't have anything else. Merry Christmas to everyone. Enjoy spending time with your families. Enjoy all the football and the basketball on. Make sure to dive into some of the NBA if you can, to get a chance. If there's any more women's volleyball, check that out. College basketball, I think, kind of tones down a little bit right around for the Christmas
college
time.
basketball, and we'll be focused big time on college basketball in the new year. So if y'all are fans of the hard court, keep tuning in. We're going to have stuff all the way through. Little January programming. Evan's soccer journey is going to be back on the front and center. But if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas to our Jewish friends out there who celebrate Hanukkah. I believe Hanukkah just ended. But Happy Hanukkah. Let us be the last to wish you Happy Hanukkah. And whatever you celebrate, to whoever you celebrate with. We truly hope y'all have a great holiday season. This is such a fun time of the year for sports, so make sure to eat some food, have some drinks, spend some time with family. Keep yourself safe. Appreciate everyone for listening. And Ev, Godspeed out there in Kansas. Hope the weather holds for you.
Thank you. You as well in Indiana. Enjoy. Merry Christmas to all. And a good night.
See y'all.